2017 has already seen some great video game releases, with hits like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Resident Evil 7, and Horizon Zero Dawn grabbing the headlines. But while the mainstream gaming media has been focused on picking apart every minor flaw in Mass Effect Andromeda, there have also been a ton of great smaller releases that have slipped through the cracks, overshadowed by the big guns. Until now. Grab your controller and fire up your Twitch stream, because here's a look at the best games you've already missed in 2017. Night in the Woods. Infinite Fool's Night in the Woods is a deep and stylish meandering through the little things in life, with a healthy dose of musing on the nature of God and the meaning of human existence. It also explores the boredom of working-class America while presenting an engaging mystery and allowing players to explore mini-games and side missions galore. And the beautifully designed dream sequences filled with fear, emptiness, and the search for meaning are not to be missed. Clocking in at 10 awesome hours, Night in the Woods is one game that shouldn't be missed. Statik. If you're looking for something a little different, welcome to Statik, a puzzle-solving virtual reality experience in which you don't know where you are, who you're with, or why your hands are locked inside increasingly difficult puzzle boxes. The puzzles themselves strike just the right balance between trickiness and ease, while the atmosphere in which you're tasked with solving them is downright creepy. The first generation of virtual reality consoles have been criticized for not having enough killer games to justify the cost. But innovative and fun experiences like Statik are quickly changing that notion. Try it and see for yourself. Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap. Available for Switch and the PS4, Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap is a perfect example of how to make a 30-year-old game great in 2017. A remake of a 1989 game, Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap has been revamped with a beautiful and cartoony art style, while retaining the original platformer's story and mechanics. As a bonus, players can even choose to play the original version instead if they want, which is pretty much the ultimate in retro gaming. The Sexy Brutale. Cursed to remain trapped in a never-ending masquerade ball, players in the Sexy Brutale have to try to prevent a series of murders which take place on a continual, time-bending loop. To solve the mystery, players must master the essence of the game's time-looping mechanic, in addition to flexing their investigative muscles in ways the classic board game Clue could only dream about. The Sexy Brutale isn't very long, but after you have solved the last murder, you'll be left itching for more. Hidden Folks. Take one look at this game's artistic style and it's impossible not to be intrigued. Combining classic Where's Waldo-style hunting fun with gorgeous hand-drawn visuals in a one-of-a-kind gameplay experience. Hidden Folks is perfect for mobile phones while also being right at home on PC and Mac. The daydreamy landscapes are teeming with activity, but as the title implies, much of it is hidden, inviting you to explore the game to discover its many secrets. Be warned though, once you start playing, it's nearly impossible to stop. So don't boot up Hidden Folks unless you have a lot of free time available. You're going to need it. TypeShift. If you're sick of word jumbles, crosswords, or Sudoku, don't worry, you just found your new daily obsession in the form of TypeShift, which gives you columns of letters you have to arrange into words until you've used up all the letters available. Like a cross between Boggle and Tetris. It's simple, but deceptively difficult. Can you spell addictive? Once you start playing TypeShift, you'll never have to make eye contact with other people on the bus ever again. Yay! Candleman. With a unique combination of art direction and gameplay, Candleman has already made a name for itself as an innovative indie title every curious gamer should try out. You play a Candleman who can only stay lit for 10 seconds on his quest for a distant light. The game's mechanics and story play with the contrast between darkness and illumination, using the interaction to traverse a range of obstacles and environments. Candleman is one of those little games that sometimes gets overshadowed by bigger, louder, more in-your-face titles. But this is one game that refuses to hide its light under a bushel. Fire up Candleman and let your gaming light shine. Hollow Knight. If you ever wondered what Dark Souls would look like if it were done Metroid style, then Hollow Knight is the game for you. With incredible hand-drawn graphics, breathtaking music, and innovative sound effects, Hollow Knight provides hours of entertainment as you explore an environment filled with puzzles, secret areas, and over 30 tough boss battles. For fans of side-scrolling adventure, it just doesn't get any more stylish or fun than Hollow Knight. Plus, there are already whole communities devoted to figuring out the game's rich and mysterious lore. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and do whatever it is you're doing. She remembered caterpillars. Featuring a hand-drawn art style reminiscent of a children's book created under the influence of psychedelic mushrooms, this color-based puzzle game investigates the bond between parent and child in unexpected and strange ways. A mind-bending experience with a touch of creepiness and more than a heap of weirdness. She Remembered Caterpillars is worth checking out for anyone who is looking for something a little different. Detention. Set in 1960s Taiwan, Detention incorporates elements of Taiwanese and Chinese culture and mythology into a disturbing experience that PC gamers said is, quote, the closest a game has come to capturing the essence of the original Silent Hill games in years. For most gamers, that should be about all you need to know to give this one a shot. But be warned, just like Silent Hill, Detention is a creepy and sometimes downright terrifying game that will haunt you long after you finally set down the controller. You know what they say? In Taiwan, the game finishes you. Splitter Critters. There's nothing quite as exciting as a game that reimagines gameplay itself. Splitter Critters does just that. The premise is simple. You're trying to help critters find the exit to the level, but you don't actually control the critters. Instead, with a swipe of your finger, you can tear the screen apart and then reposition the pieces to form a new level layout. And since different types of critters have different movement patterns, figuring out the best way to play God requires a lot of strategy. Good luck, because those critters are counting on you. Blaster Master Zero. Taking players on a retro trip to the golden days of the Nintendo Entertainment System, Blaster Master Zero is an 8-bit side-scrolling and top-down action-adventure game, reinventing the classic 1988 title Blaster Master. This new edition keeps all the fun of the original while updating gameplay with 3 decades worth of innovation, making for a familiar yet fresh gameplay experience that makes us giddy with nostalgic bliss. Torment, Tides of Numenera. Most RPGs these days are heavy on the combat and light on the narrative. Torment, Tides of Numenera goes the other way, emphasizing story over collecting loot, resulting in a game that's closer to an interactive fantasy novel than just another hack-and-slash orc massacre. For old-school RPG enthusiasts who love nearly infinite dialogue trees, or for fans of the classic choose-your-own-adventure novels, Tides of Numenera is a game you've been waiting for. Robo Recall. Afraid of an artificial intelligence-filled future? Want to kill every robot you see? Oculus Rift owners, rejoice! Because Robo Recall is just the robot-slaying, first-person virtual reality experience you've been looking for. One of the first games to really show the potential of the Oculus Touch controllers. Robo Recall features optimized gameplay to complement beautiful art direction, in one of the best shooting galleries ever devised. So give it a shot. No pun intended. Tales of Berseria. Out in Japan since August of 2016, the acclaimed RPG Tales of Berseria finally came westward in 2017. Despite praise from fans and critics alike though, Tales of Berseria has been heavily overshadowed by more hyped AAA games. Don't let that fool you though. With an unusually dark and mature storyline, and some truly memorable characters, Tales of Berseria features over 50 hours of engrossing gameplay. Plus, it allows you to experience firsthand what it might be like to live inside an anime world. If there's one thing Japan knows how to do, it's create incredible RPG adventures. So if you're a fan of the genre, or simply want to find out what all the fuss is about, give Tales of Berseria a try, you won't regret it. Bleed 2. There seems to be no shortage of retro-inspired pixel art games these days. But don't dismiss Bleed 2 as just another Contra clone. With buttery smooth controls, charming pixelated animation, and boss battles that are truly epic, Bleed 2 manages to be accessible to everyone while still rewarding those who wish to dive deeper into its intricacies. It's also more forgiving than most Contra-inspired games, particularly on lower difficulty levels, and can be completed in roughly 2 hours, so you really have no excuse not to give this one a shot. Pinball Effects 2, Star Wars Pinball Rogue One. Pinball fans will enjoy this game. Fans of Star Wars Rogue One will enjoy this game. Heck, everyone who enjoys fun will like Star Wars Pinball Rogue One. It features tight mechanics, silky smooth gameplay, and fantastic physics, with sound effects and movie quotes galore. Even casual fans of the film will appreciate the level of detail and creativity that has gone into this table. Whether it be the Black Death Trooper firing lasers all over the place during a multi-ball, or Jin giving the smackdown to a stormtrooper. So are you a pinball wizard or a pinball Jedi? Put your virtual quarter in and find out. Thimbleweed Park. If you like your adventures to be of the point-and-click variety, look no further than the surefire under-the-radar hit Thimbleweed Park. It's not just a point-and-click adventure game, mind you. According to Polygon director Whitney Reynolds, it's actually a point-and-click adventure game about point-and-click adventure games, with meta references to spiritual predecessors like Maniac Mansion. Fans of the genre would have to be true maniacs to not give this one a go. Just don't play it if you're easily offended.
Hey you, kid with a crappy wheelchair. Were you in a past life or something? Seriously, kid, you're in a wheelchair, and you got a face that looks like that?
Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.